This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
So in my wackiness, and good evening, sir. We missed you today over at Eric's, but by the way, he's going to cook a separate pig just for us to kind of make up for it. So
for me.
Yes, exactly. He catered it in this time. He didn't even cook the pig because he knew that most of us could not show up and all that. So you, me, and Omar can go back and we'll get our own private show. So that'll be cool. But anyway, in my wackiness, as always, because that's what we do on this show, I was thinking about this. And now, right now, it looks like they got a break. There isn't a lot of snow. But should the Dolphins kind of prepare for the future to have a second helmet? Like, you know, if it was snowing like crazy, your white helmet, white jersey, white pants, you kind of get lost on offense. Now, it helps on defense because you can kind of be camouflage on defense. But I'm just saying, on offense, do you think maybe the Dolphins should have an alternate helmet? So on a day like today, that if it would have been snow-filled, you have an orange helmet on a little bit and help out a little bit. What do you think?
I think it's a question that I'm going to be very honest with you. I have not spent 1 second in my 40 years of covering the NFL.
I know, me too.
Given any thought to. So presented on the spot, I'm going to say the only time if a storm, a blizzard is that bad that the color of your helmet's going to make a difference, I think there are going to be bigger issues to deal with. So,
I know, but isn't it crazy? Like you think about it, like the Bills have a white, a blue, and a red helmet.
When have they ever worn a blue helmet?
They have a blue helmet.
When have they ever worn it? I've never seen it.
Oh, I don't know, but they have. I'm sure they've worn it because I've seen it. I'm sure they've worn the blue with
I've seen the red, but they haven't worn the red.
The red and the white are the more common one, but they even have a blue. Okay, but they have obviously two. You know what I'm saying? But if your only helmet is white, yeah, you might want to have one option. You know, if your only helmet is black or blue or something, you're good. It doesn't matter. You know, unless we're gonna play in I don't know, volcanic ashes or something. Then maybe the black helmet, you know, the Steelers are going to be, well, they have the orange, they have the gold, so that'll stand out. I'm just saying it's kind of interesting that if you're all white like that, just kind of wacky. All right, the Jeff Wilson thing, kind of expected, right?
Oh, yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
So you nailed it last time with Ahmed, and with Mostert having the knee, you can't give him a ton of carries anyways, because that's not smart. So you expect Gaskin, or do you expect Ahmed to get the backup carries?
First of all, I don't expect a ton of carries. I don't think I'm not buying this idea of, because of what happened the last 2 weeks, that they're going to all of a sudden completely focus on the running game. That's not who they are. That's not what their personnel dictates they should be. What they need to do, and you and I both know as well as anybody else, short passes can equate a running game. And where they got in trouble last week is they got fixated on throwing the ball downfield when the plays weren't there, when the receivers were covered, when there were checkdowns to be had for easy completions. And this is where they need to go back to. If Tua has to throw a ton of 5 to 7 yard passes, no problem. That's what needs to be done. Because no matter this notion of like, okay, well, they're going to focus on the running game, therefore they're going to be able to run the ball. It's not. It doesn't work like that. I don't know that they're going to have a ton of success running the ball against the Bills, even if they wanted to focus on that. To me, their money needs to be made through the passing game, but don't be stubborn and throw shorter than you did last week.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. I mean, dude, short passing game, but I do say that you gotta run some, bro. You gotta run some, and this team, by the way, the Bills have been susceptible to the run. You can actually run some on them. They're not like this team that completely shuts down the run. You can actually have some success against them.
I'd have to look at the stats. I know they're not near the top, but I don't think that's not where the Dolphins are going to make their money. And no, I'm not talking about chucking it 50 times and running 5 times. I understand that. And my point is, don't be stubborn. If you try to establish the run and it's not working, don't keep going at it for the sake of, well, we got to establish the run. obviously, if the line is creating holes and there are gaps, and then Mostert has some success, and whenever he gets spelled, I would think probably Ahmed would get first crack before Myles Gaskin, but whoever it is of those two, if they start having a little bit of success, then yeah, certainly don't abandon the run if it's successful, but don't pound your head against the wall if it's not just for the sake of establishing.
I was going to say they're not as good as what you faced against San Francisco, which was 74 yards a game, but they are allowing 100. So it's not, that's actually pretty good. That's fourth best in the NFL. Actually, they're
what's the yards per carry? That's the one that I focus on.
Let me see. I got yards per game. I have to look up yards per carry.
No, and let's also not forget that they faced Houston, which was horrible against the run statistically. The Chargers horrible against the run statistically, and didn't have big games on the ground against either team. So
right, yeah. No, I know, but I would like for you to use the run game a little bit more than what you did last week, because you completely abandoned it. I think you've got to support your quarterback a little bit more with the run game and chew up the clock some too. You know what I mean? But again, here's where you're right. If it's not who you are and you're not having success, then you're wasting downs.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand what you're saying. But if somehow you can find some kind of success here, I think you should at least try to run, man.
I agree. If you're running on first down and you get 2 yards, I'm not sure I'd be crazy about a run on 2nd and 8. If you run 5 yards, I would have a hell of a lot less of a problem running the ball again. That's where I'm going with that.
All right. This is all about this offense today, right? I mean, it's on McDaniel, Tua, and the receiver. No, what I mean is, like, from what happened the last 2 weeks, that they've got to kind of exercise the demons. They've got to come up with a great performance, something they have not had the last 2 weeks, is what I'm saying.
I'm shaking my head, because to me, if they win this game, they win this game because they take the ball away. That's, to me, that's the recipe for winning this game. So I'm sorry.
That would be nice. That would be nice, but let me use your line. That's not who they are.
They had a big strip sack but
it's not who they are.
That got him the ball at the 6-yard line in the game when they played the Buffalo in week 3.
I get it, but it's not who they are.
Not necessarily. That's who they were last year when they were better on defense, and that's, again, it's not like they haven't done it.
They were better in the secondary. Their top guy was healthy. You know, it's a whole different secondary now. That's, it changes everything that you do, my brother. That's why.
But that's not the matchup that they can win on. The matchup they can win with their defense against the Buffalo offense is taking advantage of the Buffalo offensive line, which is not a great offensive line.
It's hilarious because I want them to run when you think they're not a running team, and then you want them to take away the ball when they are not that team either.
Does that mean you don't want them to take away the ball?
No, I want them to do both. I want to run. I want to take away the ball, but, that's something that they don't do well, bro.
No, I understand that, and I'm not saying that it's going to happen. I'm saying, to me, that's their recipe for success. And if you look at all their losses, a common denominator is they don't get takeaways when they lose.
Yes.
So they need to do that. And obviously, if the offense can go back to having a 24, 27, 30-point game, then obviously the need to create turnovers on defense obviously lessens. I'm not sure that they're going to have that kind of success. Buffalo has a damn good defense. A lot better than the Chargers last week.
Did you see Warren Sharp's video this week? I thought that was...
I did not.
He did a great job, man. Like, the last 2 weeks, they're the only team that's been averaging 12 yards of air ball in their first down. Like the deepest in the NFL is like a team at 9 yards. Everybody's everybody's in the 6 to 9 area, and then Miami's gotten to the 12. And I think he got a little cocky. I think he's been so used to his offense being so successful, he kept pushing the envelope. Then people kept catching up to him, and then this is what I was going to tell you. And it follows up to your short throws thing. You got to get back to manageable third downs. That's why you're such a failure on third downs, because they were impossible third downs that you put your offense in on a consistent basis, because you had some hard on that you have to throw deep all the time early downs.
Yeah, but as you and I talked about early in the week, is against San Francisco, the throws were there to be had down the field. Against the
Oh,
Chargers.
yes, yes.
Again,
Yes,
and the Chargers, and this is where Tua got stubborn. And I go back, there was a play, there's a third down in the second quarter, right before the Chargers had the long touchdown drive right before the end of the half. It was third and, I don't know, 14, whatever. He threw down the left sideline to Trent Sherfield.
Oh, yeah.
Ball was 5 yards out of bounds. He was completely covered. And if you see the all-22, Durham Smythe leaks out after throwing a block and is wide open with nobody around him to where the yak might have gotten him the first down, or at the very least he would have gotten close. And that's one of those where Tua's got to be smart enough to where it's not there to Sherfield. Amen. Let me check it down.
Amen. Amen. I mean, that's why I told you that. You're right. It would be nice to to take away the ball, obviously the defense, but the demon that needs to be exercised is the offensive demon from the last 2 weeks, because that's the real sore spot of this team, the last 2 weeks, unfortunately, but that's kind of where we're at. You look at the line right now. Is Fisher ready to play, Alan? Because he, you've got, God bless him, dude. He's playing with a pec, he's playing with a toe, and now he's playing with a knee injury. So you got to be concerned about that.
No, there's no question you got to be concerned about it, but the guy's a gamer, and even
Fisher's
if he plays,
Fisher's ready. Fisher's ready.
I don't see any. I mean, I'm not. We don't watch practice beyond the warm up period. It's been 2 weeks of practice now. I'd be very surprised if he wasn't ready to play. I certainly wouldn't start him at left tackle, even if he is ready to play. Now, if he started at right tackle, I wouldn't be surprised, and I would have no issue with that. Again, they're the ones who are going to see what he looks like, if he's Eric Fisher from Kansas City or he's Eric Fisher from the Colts, who kind of had a down year last year. And if that's the guy the Dolphins have, then he becomes a good backup swing tackle. And then you just leave Brandon Shell in there, and then Fisher becomes your emergency if Armstead doesn't hold up. But I think if Armstead can go, you got to play him.
All right. Breaking it down. How do you attack this defense if you're Miami? You talked about the short passes. Anything else that you would use?
That's exactly what I would use. Short passes.
Outside. A lot of outside stuff.
That's not what they do. I mean, what they've had a lot of success with is Tyreek sprinting down the field at about 10 yards, turning around at the number. They've had a lot of success with that, with him and with Waddle. Short crossers.
That's what I mean. Short stuff on the outsides, not so much in the middle of the field where you can get your guys on the open field, because they back up from these guys. They give them space, so. Right. You may like screens and stuff like that.
Right. You can get a quick slant. What you're not going to get is like the 20-yard deep end that they feasted on for so long during the season. I think we have to accept that those are going to be few and far between the rest of the way.
Yeah, that people are adjusting, bro. So that's the thing. You got to now counter, and we got to see if Mac can actually counter. All right. What's the prediction for tonight?
Yeah, my prediction I went with. Look, it's a bitch of an ass for the Dolphins here. Third straight game on the road. It's a short week. Buffalo, if we're going to be honest, is a better team. I think they can make it interesting, and they certainly can win if things go right. But I predicted 22-16 for the Bills.
Okay. All right, there you go. Don't forget, you got to bookmark alldolphins.com on Sports Illustrated, because Mr. Poupart there is writing about 47 stories a day, so you can keep updated on everything going on with the Miami Dolphins. Alan, enjoy the game, my friend. We will talk on Monday.
Will do, and I will close with this, because I wrote this today, that even though I don't expect them to win, and I'm certainly like in a large group, if they do win, considering the circumstances, I would venture to say it would be one of the most – it would be the most significant win for this team, this franchise, in a long, long time. I'm talking years, if not decades.
Amen to that, bro. Amen to that. And it'll make you forget about what happened the last 2 weeks. And it'll make you feel really good about the next 3 games. Because if you lose this game, and even if you win the next 3, people won't feel good until you get into the playoffs and win a game in the playoffs.
Correct.
That's all. Because they're going to think, oh, you won the easier games, you got in, and now you're going to get smoked in the first round. Same old Dolphins, this, that. there's a lot riding here, bro. You got to have a hell of a performance tonight.
No,
one
big
way
time.
or another.
And how's this for a stat? Let me leave you with this. That's included in my story. If they win tonight, will be the first time since 2003 that they will sweep the defending AFC East champions.
Wow. Be impressive.
Yep, it would be.
Would be really nice. All right, follow him on Twitter at Poupart NFL and catch all of his work there at alldolphins.com. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. We'll talk to you on Monday.
Sounds like a plan. You be good.
You got it. You be good, my brother. There you go. Alain Poupart and our EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins pregame show.